powerful champion right now. Not too surprised to see that go early on in the draft here. And hey, there's Kalista for 100 Thieves.
All right, you don't have to go too far back to analyze this champion select. They steal away the Kalista. This is going to be the reverse if they actually lock in the Ornn. Last time around, Someday was the one who decided to take the defensive route. And Ornn, you try and stack up, you get your Bramble Vest, you just try and stack up your defenses because there's nothing you're going to be able to do to push the Kalista out of lane or stop the Kalista from gaining that pressure from farming. Of course, Ornn's obvious goal is to scale.
And scale he does. Turns out when you give your buddies a whole bunch of freebies, upgrade them from the Walmart value version of the item to the super mega Louis Vuitton Gucci version, it makes all your characters really, really strong. It sort of just gives you free 5,000 gold. That's pretty insane. And along
So you're
with
saying it's all about branding for the
yeah,
item,
it's all about brand power with Ornn. He slaps his name on there, and all of a sudden, everybody wants to throw $600 at a $20 item. Now, they're also going to have some more CC in frontline in the form of the Nautilus. We've seen this champion be very powerful, especially when paired with something like an Aphelios. But the response from 100 Thieves, they're going to give Kalista her tried and true diamond bowling ball in the Taric.
And this is one of the reasons why Kalista has risen to the very top of priority across the world with multiple leagues, because you can swap her down to the bottom side. She's also an extremely strong bottom laner, not just a top side solo laner. So one of the best pairings, of course, are these team fight supports. Taric is definitely one of those. Both of these champions being able to make the other one invulnerable or untargetable provides a very difficult conundrum for the enemy teams to try and attack when you're looking at early dragon fights and you're trying to gain control of the bottom half of the map.
And Kindred banned away, Aatrox banned away, Olaf banned away, 100 Thieves, seeing that the jungle pool is still targetable, they want to again focus on Blabber, who I think has just had an absolutely phenomenal split for himself, stepping up into the shoes of former MVP jungler Svenskeren from last split, and just really bringing this team to the level they need to be to play as aggressively as they are. And with those bans now all resolved, and Trundle being the final ban for Cloud9, 100 Thieves feels comfortable and confident picking the Sejuani.
It's pretty funny because Blabber was tweeting out that he wanted to play some more fun champions, and I specifically asked him what would be those champions for me to use in solo queue, and Kindred was one of his first answers that he had been abusing, so I like that ban there. Obviously, 100 Thieves also trying to take away some of the counters to Sejuani. Trundle and Olaf are both banned, so that leaves a very good scenario for a Sejuani pick. I think Midos will feel very comfortable. And then Blabber has to be on something like Jarvan, maybe, that can be engaged for the team, but also can have some early priority.
Let's see what it's going to be here, Cloud. Ooh! All right, we're getting a little bit spicy in here for Cloud9. The Nocturne, the final pick here for the draft in game number 1. This is not one of those junglers that we've seen be a staple so far in Spring Split. However, it is a jungler that can gank pretty effectively at level 3, and provided he's using the standard lethal tempo build, he is an immaculate duelist.
And if you are looking at 100 Thieves and you think Someday is this biggest threat, the brightest star on the team, Nocturne's ultimate, you can turn off the lights before you attempt to play and try and deny or at least delay the teleport that could come in from Someday, from the top laner, and then you just try and take out the rest of 100 Thieves before he shows up, and he'll arrive to numbers disadvantage, let's say.
Also makes it harder to aim the ship's cannons with the ulti. Gangplank can always contribute across the map by just targeting, clicking with R, and if it's hard for him to see, he might just shoot it into the woods and have a little bit of an oopsie. So always lots of advantages you can find there with the Nocturne. I'm excited to see something a little bit spicier than we usually get here in the first game, and it looks like everything is all locked in and ready to go, and we'll be heading to Summoner's Rift here very shortly. Very shortly indeed. We are just about loaded in here. Cloud9 and 100 Thieves. Remember, a bit surprising for some people that 100 Thieves was chosen by Cloud9 as they were the higher ranked of the two opponents. Cloud9 could have chosen. FlyQuest ended up being 4th. 100 Thieves in 3rd after all the tiebreaker dust was settled. But this seems to be the matchup that Reaper believes his team is going to do better against, and that is the one they have chosen.
Exactly, and a lot of people's eyes are on the mid lane. Mark brought it up on the analyst desk, but Ryoma seems like the type of target that Nisqy and Blabber can abuse. And if you have Zoe and Nocturne, it's very easy to set up pressure on a Syndra. You can see that Ryoma has taken Cleanse in addition to the Flash because of this, so very defensive-minded summoner spells, but you have to go beyond that and try and track the Nocturne. Something about Nocturne is you can't just ward around the mid lane to protect your mid laner anymore. It takes invades, and you have to go ward the actual camps. If you can ward Raptors or maybe Wolves, then having 2 of the camps warded, you can eliminate the other ones as a possibility and try and figure out where Blabber is going and where he's going to gank next.
Now, the one thing we also have to consider about Nocturne, he is up against a Sejuani. Now, although this champion is not one of those super duelists at level 3, something you might think of along the lines of an Elise or something that could be very scary early on, the Sejuani is going to scale into a monster, and should Blabber fall behind the pace of the game on a jungler like Nocturne, he goes from being this incredibly scary ballistic death missile to he makes the 80 carry jump for a second, go, oh, what was it? Oh, it's just Nocturne, never mind. He does half your health bar, he instantly dies, everybody question mark pings him, and that's the end of the day. So I really want to see that trademark Cloud9 aggro play, make things happen early in this game in order for this pick to succeed.
Yeah, and the scaling that you're talking about is team fight scaling. There's no way that Nocturne ever is going to bring anything to this team fight because he's also playing Nocturne into a Taric, which is going to make the entire team immune. You can just drop the Taric ultimate when the lights get turned off, and if you're grouped up as 5, that is basically full security. But the Nocturne, like you're talking about, really shines in the earlier stages. As soon as you get to that level 6, trying to pressure the lanes, and we think that he'll probably go mid. This season, Cloud9 have dominated the LCS by not waiting around. They have not wasted any time. They have gone out to very early leads. But for 100 Thieves, this entire series will come back to Nadeshot's motto, which is take what is not given to you. This series will certainly not be given to them. They are going to have to take it out of the hands of Cloud9.
And Blabber's invading to try to take some of the jungle right now from Meteos. Meteos did start on his red buff, but did not clear the entire top side quadrant there. Instead, just opting to go towards the bottom side, grab both buffs, and then clear back towards that red area. But it looks like Blabber will be able to grab that chicken camp and then immediately make a transfer down here to the mid lane. Nisqy lands the Sleepy Trouble bubble. Paddlestar also going to follow that one up. Blabber makes his way into the lane, but honestly, he's not there in time to add any extra damage. But Ryoma gets chunked pretty hard.
And you see this a lot with stronger junglers early playing in a Sejuani. They don't even care if they show through the lane. Blabber steals away the Raptors and immediately will cross over to his red quadrant where all of his camps are up. So if you look at the map right now, he has effectively eliminated 2 extra camps that Meteos cannot farm in comparison to him and has earned himself a lot more gold now to be acquired. Raptors, Red, and Krugs available, while Meteos only has the Krugs. This is very intelligent pathing from Blabber that also plays off of Nisqy's mid lane, which we saw allow him to go for that invade. So this is one of the reasons why Blabber is so good. It's not just his skirmishing. You know, he's not this brainless mechanics-only player. He puts a lot of thought into setting this up as well.
Well, the one light shining in the darkness there for Meteos is the fact that he did not get 2 crab. That always feels bad when your opponent manages to get the better of your camps and also grab both Scuttle Crabs, so he gets away from that one. But Licorice going for the solo kill here into the top lane. And there you go. We're talking about win conditions, man. When Ornn solo kills the GP at level 4, Licorice is saying, not today, not in my top lane.
No flash, though. Meteos, can he?
No.
No, he cannot do anything.
No.
Licorice, yeah. So, the analyst touched on Sumday's stats as well. So Sumday is 3rd in solo kills in the LCS right now. But who's 2nd is actually Licorice, who was at 11. Sumday was at 10. Now Licorice is at 12.
Yeah, Licorice, let's take another look at how he found this solo kill here onto Sumday.
I think the best part of it is the sound of Ornn's auto at the end with the hammer, just the big doink coming through.
Big doink. Very well done there from Licorice. And honestly, just some disrespect from Sunday. You saw him walk right up to the volcanic pillar that had erupted from the ground that Licorice made there in the lane, pretty much daring him to come and take the trade. Well, Unfortunately for Someday, Licorice knows exactly when he can accept those kinds of dares, jumps right in and grabs the kill. We'll see if this snowballs into anything further here for the side of Cloud9 on the top half of the map. Blabber's still only level 5. We'll take the Scryer's Bloom there, sees the ward that was just placed down by Ryoma, and he'll clear that one away. And then once again, just go back, grab this chicken camp. Pretty effective at doing that with the Dustbringer and Umbra Blades combined, and it allows him to keep up this CS lead over his opponent, who is now heading towards the bottom lane.
Yep, Blabber keeping that timer. Meteos is setting up that gank you're talking about, though. Can they land the stun?
Oh, nice flash away from Vulcan there, dodging out of the CC, but he goes right back in to find some damage onto Meteos. And in a 3v2, it's 100 Thieves who walk away with a more damaged health bars in this one. Well played by C9.
Yep, they do damage them more. Summoner spell blown, so something was gained, right? If you look at the minimap, there again were no camps until just now the Krugs respawn for Meteos. So he had no farming options. And his best bet was to try and get a summoner spell blown. Even though he takes a lot of damage, they do at least get some area to try and work off with. Nautilus now being a possible target, and Honey Fruit being found in the river means he healed back up.
And now bottom side, we're going in yet again. Cody Sun forced to flash away. Stunt now the target as Vulcan starts things off, and Sven is there following up with the damage. Blabber already level 6, looking to make the tower dive come alive. The damage goes through, the health bars shrink down rapidly. Blabber having to flash away. Sven looking to get the kills. It's one down, but here comes the artillery. Both bottom laners on the side of 100 Thieves are killed off. It's going to be one kill in return as Sven's sent home with black and white screen, but Cloud9 gets their marks.
I love Exhaust, Captain Flowers. They buffed it a couple of patches ago, lasts half a second longer. There, the Exhaust makes the difference, allows 100 Thieves to get a counter kill back. That was a very close and scrappy tower dive there, with Sven also having to blow both summoners and getting extremely low. In the end, they did get both kills, so Cloud9 barely pull it off there, and they do come out ahead. But because of the Exhaust, 100 Thieves made it close and got a counter.
And hey, Blabber's doing exactly what we both said we wanted to see. As soon as he got that ultimate, it was what, under 1 minute before he found the opportunity to fire it off and make a play happen. And when you're a champion like this, I want to see that sucker cast on cooldown.
All right, you can spell shield a dragon auto because it counts as a spell to give you more attack speed. They do it, they finish off the dragon.
But now the fight has started. Remember, Stunt still no level 6. He's not able to find that Cosmic Radiance. He cannot bring in the invulnerability, and Cloud9 now mounting the assault against 100 Thieves. Niski destroys Cody Sun. He sends Meteos to join him, and that is a double kill over to Cloud9. It is a 6-1 game, and they are doing exactly what they have done for the entirety of this split.
The Cloud9 War Machine still operational, Flowers. It was only close for a tiny bit during that dive where we thought maybe another kill would go over to 100 Thieves, but immediately Blabber takes the dragon. They collapse first onto Stunt. Vulcan hooks him back in for a very good kill. And then even though the rest of the team has arrived, Niski's able to just destroy them on the Zoe. Heads down the river, finishes off the second kill. And 100 Thieves are looking at a 5-kill deficit on top of the first dragon going over to C9.
Absolutely dominant play here early on from the side of Cloud9. And it's not just the fact that they're getting the kills, my friend. Where have the kills ended up? 2 on Niski, 3 on Sven, and 1 on Licorice, but you can't fault the man for it because he bonked Someday with his own little hammer. There's no way this could be going any better here for this squad so far, as Licorice just continues slapping him and clapping him.
Yeah, this done is definitely looking very good for Cloud9, and I want to keep track of how they keep up the pressure, because we're used to seeing them get these early leads like you're talking about. What's so cool about this team is how they have pushed these leads almost 100% of the time into victories. Only the one loss to TSM, and they do that with Blabber remaining aggressive. Right now, he does have the Nocturne ultimate, so my eyes are still looking for another play on bottom side. Even though 100 Thieves both have the Callista ultimate and Taric, that is still an area that they can attack. The other possibility would be Ryoma in mid lane. That one's fairly difficult, though, because of the Cleanse Flash.
Yep. We also have to remember that if Meteos is able to properly read Blabber, because of the fact that they now both have ultis online, a counter gank will be that much more punishing. The first time Blabber used the ulti successfully in the bottom lane, he was level 6, his opponent only level 5. You can see there now as he's taking the Rift Herald, once again, utilizing the fact that these epic monsters do have some of their damaging attacks coded as spells, so he's able to use the spell shield there, block the charge, and can then grab that extra attack speed to continue to put the DPS into Shelly and grab that eyeball early on here. Niski showing up to help him, making sure they get it quickly. Remember, it lasts 4 minutes, and for 3.5 of those, deployment means turret plates and even bigger gold leads.
Possible tower dive, Captain Flowers. I see some pings on top lane. Someday is under the turret currently. So they were thinking about it and possibly using the Rift Herald up there. But looks like they've decided to set full reset here for Blabber, get right back to base. And he's actually headed down bottom side right now. Now, a little bit of extra insight on some mechanics for the Nocturne into Sejuani. We haven't gotten to see it. I was hoping, you know, maybe Blabber on one of these invades would actually find Meteos, but one of the reasons it's so easy for Nocturne is you can just spell shield the second activation of Winter's Wrath on Sejuani, the W. That's where most of the damage is loaded. And if you block that, then Sejuani has zero chance of winning any fights. So that's why Blabber got to go for all his easy early invades in combination with, of course, Niski pushing them in lane.
Any champion that has a counter ability, like, you know, Nocturne Spell Shield, Fiora's Repose, you just love champions like Sejuani that have such an easily predictable ability that's so easy to block. It just means that you win so hard in those matchups where you can block that with that ability. As we might see ourselves quite a fight here in the river. Meteos looking to start things off. Nice CC going to be layered there onto Cloud9 to begin this one. However, the disengage comes through as Paranoia is used to simply allow Cloud9 to back out. You don't always have to go in when things get dark and full of terrors.
Yeah, defensive Nocturne ultimates, completely viable strategy. It is used right there. Rift Herald popped on the bottom side, and that's going to be more money in the hands of Sven as he's been able to take off those turret plates. First 2 of them by hand. Shelly comes in with the true damage. So efficient. Don't you just love it, Flowers?
Oh, it's the best way to use Shelly for those who aren't familiar. You don't want to use her on the first couple of plays. Use her on the ones later on. And Licorice, he's once again winning in these 1v1s against Sunday. He's got a full-on Sunfire cape. Life goes from bad to worse for a champion that needs to build up plenty of damage. Tank stats, they just scale harder early on with only a 1 or 2 item investment than damage does. It's why these tanks are able to lane effectively against champions that want to play for later game, be more of a carry. As Niski goes for the damage, he finds the Paddle Star, he finds the Trouble Bubble. Niski gives him a big old belch from the mountain and sends him right back to the spawn platform.
That's what we call teamwork, Flowers. Niski heads up to the top side, sees Licorice softening up someday, just adds a little bit of a helping hand there with the Sleepy Trouble Bubble, and hands another kill over to him on a silver platter. 100 Thieves will not be caught sleeping, though. They'll take the opposite side of the map, knowing that Niski roaming up to the top side will give them full priority over the Dragon.
All right, Dragon secured means at least 100 Thieves doesn't have to worry about an early 20-minute something Dragon Soul, which could have been a possibility if they weren't able to stay on top of this and at least sneak one.
Always a possibility in C9 games, for sure.
Yeah, it's incredibly common considering their insane stats on controlling neutral objectives and everything else on the Rift here in spring. Of course, they've still got that impressive Rift Hero control number, only getting higher after this game, but 100 Thieves doing well to make sure that that's not a win condition, at least for a little while longer. And Someday just going to get right back where he was here in this top side, continue trying to farm up, despite the fact that he has now died twice. He is still Gangplank. He's still even on farm with his opponent. And remember, even on Gangplank means ahead because of the fact that you get so much extra money from that parlay gold win.
Yeah. The champion design team does take into account extra gold sources for when they're designing some champions. But Gangplank, with the Trinity Force now, finally has some semblance of a power spike for 100 Thieves. This is kind of the only thing that you can point out. The power spike is definitely one of the smaller ones, a blip on the radar, but it's there. You can see it.
It's not quite as big as the Sunfire Cape Ninja Tabby's kind of Aeon's horn, but hey, it's there. It's there. It's hanging out.
Try and hit your barrel chain onto somebody else. You know, a Felios, a good target. Maybe you can find him.
Somebody that the barrel will do more than 10% of their health to, maybe. But that's definitely not the Ornn. Licorice very strong right now here in the current state of the game. The next Drake not spawning for over 3 minutes. We don't really have anything that's worth fighting over on the map right now. No turrets have yet been felt, so that bonus is still available. Sleepy Trouble Bubble not going to find anything. With no terrain to pass through, the range is honestly very limited. So it does mean, however, that they will be able to chase 100 Thieves away long enough for Cloud9 to secure yet another Scuttle Crab. I'll count that as a mini objective. That's fine.
Okay, fair enough. A mini objective, just like the mini power spike.
Yeah, they go hand in hand, man.
Looks like Meteos is going to walk over a ward.
Meteos in some trouble here. CC coming down, damage going out. Throws out the Glacial Prison as he disengages. No opportunity for anybody from 100 Thieves to move over and try to help. Instead, the disengage is the best they'll get, but that does cost Meteos' flash. Yeah,
some good evasive maneuvers from Meteos. Get him out, even dodges away from the Sleepy Trouble Bubble that's coming over. But that's basically just trying to deal with the symptoms here. They're not able to solve the root cause, which is Cloud9 full control of anything outside of the towers from 100 Thieves, and that's changing shortly even too, as the domino effect is about to occur. When bottom goes down, it's very easy for C9 to swap their duo up to that top side. Licorice has already taken most of it himself, and that thing's gonna fall pretty quickly afterwards.
And the comparison in items between the 80 carries, because of the fact that Sven has almost an extra 1,000 gold in his pocket from those kills, as Ryoma gets a nice taste of the Zoe combo there in mid lane, losing 2/3 of his HP. Blabber's going to be on Rift Herald number 2. As you can see, Licorice heading back to base. He's already claimed that top lane tier 1 turret. Sven's heading up there into the top side. He's already got his Essence Reaver. He's got the second BF sword in inventory, working towards the Infinity Edge, as Cody Sun just now completes his Blade of the Ruin King on Kalista. And remember, it's not like this is a matchup where Sven's playing something like Lethality Varus, where you want to spike early. You want to make sure that you're having those impact in those 20-minute fights. This is a Felios, man. This champion melts 5 people at a time in late game team fights. Kalista falls off.
Definitely true. And Felios is also going to have some Gucci Infinity Edge headed his way. Brand name will be upgraded. So it always feels nice to have a very strong scaling carry on your team that rushes one of those items. So as soon as Licorice gets to level 14, he'll be able to hand that out to Sven.
Meteos, Cody Sun, and Stunt moving up here to maybe make a move on to Sven.
Get him! Everybody
he
get him!
sees him on the control ward. He's backing away. He pops.
Oh.
He walks out.
They got him for a second.
That was a good Goon Squad voice over there.
I mean, that's the squad on the blast code. All right, everybody, you see that Felios? Get him, jump on him, quick.
Are these guys, are they like Skyrim bandits now?
Yeah, you never should have come here. Yep, they wait for the recall to go off. In the aftermath, though, they do pick up something meaningful, which is the second Rift Herald. So 100 Thieves now, wait, I'm not seeing it actually. What happened there? Did it?
It's summoned up in the mid lane by...
No.
By
there we go.
Yeah.
It was the Scuttle Crab. It was the mini one. I'm trolling.
Here comes Shelly, the mid lane tier 1. Troll it or not, she's going to slam her head into that thing, nearly take it down. But it is still standing. That's what's important here for 100 Thieves. But the third Drake of the game is alive. There's nothing really for 100 Thieves to say, all right, we'll trade the Drake for this. So for them, this is just an opportunity that they cannot contest, and Blabber and Licorice will take that one.
Yeah, they already got their big reward. That Scuttle Crab. That Scuttle Crab will become a Shelly in the future, though.
But it's dead.
You know that.
How will it become anything? It's dead.
In the afterlife, yeah, reborn. Do you believe in that?
You want to get into reincarnation about Shellys? Hold on, Blabber's not going to let Ryoma get reincarnated into anything other than, well, a different version of Syndra here in about 31 seconds, because that one just got sent back to the spawn platform. Nice kill there in the mid lane. Blabber once again utilizing the Nocturne to make the play.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that is going to be their best shot at getting kills. Niski here's got some juice.
Niski trying to see if he's got the damage onto Meteos, but he's not quite able to get it there with the jump forward. Vulcan with the stopwatch, keeping himself alive. The Gangplank ulti will prevent his escape, and Cody's son is on the board.
Much needed sigh of relief here for an extra kill going over to 100 Thieves. Even though Ryoma did go down before that, any sort of trade is good for 100 Thieves at the moment because Cloud9 have so much control. They're just trying to trade in these opportunities where they have any sort of opening. Someday now, there's no patience left on this blue buff, so it's going to reset if they change targets one more time, and they do.
I think somebody will say happy about that because at least now he has a better chance of getting the blue buff. Meteo's also going to show up along with Stunt to zone Licorice away. You can tell he really wanted to put up a fight for that one, but when 3 people show up to just stop you from getting a blue, you're not getting the blue.
All right, so here's what you want to do if you're Cloud9 trying to push this game ahead. Well, never mind. We'll see what happens to Ryoma as he's doomed.
You're right. Here is what you want to do if you're Cloud9 trying to push this game ahead. You pop the enemy mid laner right near his red buff. Now you look to get away. A nice stopwatch coming through from Blabber there, allowing him to dodge away from the Meteos ulti. Now he's barely going to be kept alive in the back end of the fight. Here comes the cavalry. Licorice has arrived. The ult comes through, and Meteos is over the wall, but now he's going to be chased down, and Blabber's right back into the mix, grabbing himself yet another kill. He feints into the back line and only re-enters when he knows he can clean things up. Cloud9 once again playing the fights cleanly, and we'll see them move over onto the Baron now just 21 minutes into the game. They are very strong. They have an incredibly capable tank of making sure he absorbs all the damage from this one. We'll see if 100 Thieves are in any sort of a position to try and contest. They have no jungler, but there was no smite on Blabber either. It was up to the rest of the teams to secure it, and C9 gets Baron.
You see, there's not even enough time to tell C9 what their next step is. They're just too quick at it. They find the pick in the jungle, right behind Baron, Sleepy Trouble Bubble, and Blabber already has the tether of the fear. Just look at that beautiful CC chain. Ryoma doesn't get to do anything. His Sleepy Trouble Bubble dreams go to nightmares as soon as he wakes up, and he's immediately dead. Then, with Licorice here having a long-range engage on Ornn, even during the immunity of Taric Ultimate, they get knocked up, so there's no counter kill for 100 Thieves. And with Niski landing that last bubble onto Meteos, he allowed Blabber to get the kill on the enemy jungler, opening up Baron, and it's only 22 minutes into the game, Flowers. We have been on this timeline before with C9, and they are not going to waste it any longer. Panarin is about to come up for Blabber, so he's split pushing.
5,500 gold up, 22 minutes into the game, and there are still all 3 tier 2 turrets left standing. These are usually just a nice little bit of free money to collect for yourself. Once you have the Baron buff, teams can push them down rather easily. Oftentimes defenders are a little bit averse to trying to protect them, since it does open you up to a team fight that could very easily go south and cause you to lose your entire base, if not at least a couple inhibitors. As C9 has rotated into the top side, Blabber will continue pushing mid. The classic 4-1 Baron split, and there you go. T2 top lane sacrificed. More money for Cloud9.
Yeah, they were thinking about going for Blabber in mid lane, but it gets turned around on Meteos.
When your tank is the man who can be jumped on in the jungle and 100 to 0'd in the duration of the Nocturne Fear Tether, things are not going very well here for the team of 100 Thieves. Licorice, he throws out the ult, but upon the stopwatch coming down, he throws it over the wall instead to reacquire different targets. Gangplank ulti comes down over the wall just to make sure this fight isn't going to be going any further. Stunt and Cody's son finding some damage onto Licorice, but each Kalista auto attack does barely anything at all. The Ornn is so incredibly tanky, and Cloud9 can just walk away from this one. Mid lane tier 2 turret continually under fire. Blabber backing away from this one as Cody hops forward trying to repel the attack. They will keep that tier 2 alive just barely, and 100 Thieves will continue to hang on.
Yeah, this reset for C9 is going to be for the Infernal Dragon. They don't want to leave any options open for 100 Thieves, but Cody's son and Stunt might try and rush this one. Definitely dangerous for them. C9 have the Baron empowered recalls, so they got most people back.
They've got Blabber and Licorice right here, and Licorice will just walk up. He says, "Get away from my Drake," and he's going to jump in and fight 1v3. Blabber looking to show up now, following in on Licorice's lead. He's able to steal away the Infernal Drake. He beats Meteos there in the smite fight.
Still Licorice on the front line. He's going to be taken very, very low. He still keeps himself alive, and Cody is the first one to fall. Back in the fight, Niski's looking to take down Meteos as the rest of C9 will follow up on the stragglers of 100 Thieves. It is a 1 for 4, and Cloud9, they lose their jungler for the first time this game, but they will take the Drake, they will move to Soap Point, they will move on to the tier 2s yet again, and this is exactly what fans wanted to see from this team when they moved into playoffs. Absolutely merciless, absolutely unstoppable, and someday, once again, gonna nearly be taken down here. Niski coming in from behind. He's got a little bit more damage to go if he wants to grab the kill. Vulcan's got the root. There's your Sleepy Trouble bubble. Doesn't even have to get the sleep at the end. The damage is enough, and the tier 2 in the bottom lane falls. All 3 tier 2s gone, and Licorice even takes a tier 3 in the top side for good measure.
Now, for 100 Thieves, they have to be considering that this is not the regular split. This is a series where they can make adjustments. And already in this game, they're thinking about what adjustments they can make moving forward. First, we'll look at the replay, though, before we go into that. This is the Smite steal from Blabber, and look at this. He moves up, goes for the fear onto Cody's son, still gets the Smite over Meteos. On this replay, it's showing Meteos' Smite on cooldown, so I don't know if that is one of those replay bugs or if it was actually on cooldown and 100 Thieves were just trying to rush that dragon regardless. It is going to mean, though, that C9 do even have a fallback pattern of the Dragon Soul with the Infernal Dragon, in addition to basically owning Summoner's Rift at the moment. Someday can't even get this cannon minion, by the way, as he's trying to fend off 3 people, and he goes back and he's like, wait, there is some money over here. Maybe I get some minions. He goes to sleep, and even that is out of their reach.
Just not doable. Baron up in less than a minute here, 16-3. Cloud9 just shy of 10,000 gold ahead of their opponents at 26 minutes. This is a team that all too frequently finishes their opponents off around 30 minutes into the game. They don't like to allow things to drag out for too long. Blabber going into the top side now, looking for the 1v1 against Someday on the GP. Ulti is called down. Hey, that's not a fair 1v1, but fair doesn't really matter when you get the kill, does it? Niski shows up, secures that when he adds a couple more pages there to his book. And that is a 14-stack Medjai's Soul Stealer. That is Blabber with a Guardian Angel who's not afraid to dive in and start the plays. 100 Thieves are trying to move up, maybe get some sort of revenge here. Yeah, they're going to lose their base, but they probably would anyway, even if they didn't go for this. Niski with a flash away. That is his real flash. Blabber's still just hanging around. I don't know how many people from 100 Thieves try to hunt him down here. Meteos, he whips the whip. Blabber with a flash, Blabber with the block onto the CC coming out from the spell shield there, and now Meteos is overextended. The rest of Cloud9 is just in the enemy base. They're like, all right, Ryoma's the only guy here stopping us. Why would we care? Still pushing strong as 3. Licorice tanking up the turret. All of 100 Thieves just stayed in the top side for way too long. They seem to just be go nexting this one, and Cloud9 are happy to oblige. They're on to the Nexus itself. Someday will do nothing but pad their stats, it appears, as this team is way too tanky with way too much damage, and Cloud9 is way too damn good at League of Legends. They will wrap this one up in 28 minutes.
It's been said before, but Cloud9 in the North American LCS this split have looked like a team of complete Smurfs, 5 members strong, absolutely demolishing all competition, and it looks like playoff